Even my lipstick is bookish. Hello strangers, I'm Rachel Vanna and this is my monthly wrap up for the month of August. And I legit can't believe August is over because it means there's only 2 weeks till I go to uni. And I can't believe that. It's less than that. It's less than 2 weeks till I go. And that's terrifying. Especially as I've already slowed down reading, as you will see when I talk about what I read this month. And my video making. Like, I've filmed a few things but I've not edited them. And I'm sorry. I have been doing some stuff to get ready for uni, but I feel like I haven't been doing enough to justify where I haven't been producing videos, so I'm sorry. And if you guys are wondering, this lipstick is called Alastor, and it's from a line where all the lipsticks have Harry Potter related names. I mean, Alastor, but you know, isn't it great? But that's enough about my fantastic makeup choices. So I finished reading 9 books in the month of August, and yeah, bits and bobs of other ones and listened to bits and bobs of other books. But we'll talk about those ones at the end and we'll just concentrate on the ones that actually finished. So I started the month by finishing reading Another Day by David Lewithan, and this is the sequel to Every Day by him. It's just the point of view is in the love interest's point of view from the original book. And I liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and there's a review of this book on my blog. And links will be down there for all the books that have reviews from this month. And then we became into the full swing of Booktubeathon. And while I did do a full wrap up and talk about these books while I was reading them, I realised that my wrap up I never really talked about the actual books I read. I just physically talked about how I had actually done whilst reading. But the first book I read during the Booktubeathon was Lost and Found by the amazing Cat. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And I love Cat. And I'm working on a review of this book, but it's not out right now because it'll be out eventually. But all you guys need to know is I love this book, and if you'd like a video review, I will do one. Because I started and I never did it. This is a book about where a girl's sister was adopted when they were little girls, and then she appears like when the sister who wasn't adopted is 17, so years later she reappeared, and it's just kind of about the eruption, and there's a twist-ish in this book. I did find it kind of predictable, like the plot-wise. I could totally tell everything that would happen in the plot, but I don't care. Like Crack it's amazing characters, and just no real plot is completely original. So I love this book. The characters, and I did a scene from this book as part of the Booktubeathon, and I will link it somewhere. I just love the dialogue. And then I read Zom-B by Darren Shan, and this is the 8th book in the Zombies series. And I've your review of this, and it's not art, but it's a common feel. Like my British books, kind of like I write reviews for them and I sit on them until something bad happens where I don't release the book review I'm meant to, which has happened a lot this month. Well, not this month, but this summer. I can't really say anything about this book, but I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and if you've been reading the Zom-B series, we get answers and background on a particular character in this book, so yay! And still with the Booktubeathon, I read Diviners by Zom-B. Probably a mistake for a readathon, but I really liked this book and I really loved it, and I did a review of this while trying to shove as much watermelon in my mouth as possible. But it was for the Booktubeathon, so I will link that down below. I really love this book. It's set in the swinging 20s, and the diversity of this book's really good. I feel like it's realistic and it actually deals with the kind of racism and prejudicism of the time, which I will talk about a little bit more in a second. It's a shame my hair isn't as blue as it used to be, otherwise we could have just had like matching blueness. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. And then I finished the Gone series by Michael Grant by reading Lights, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. It was a good finish to the series, I think. I managed to read it in a day, which was good for the Booktubeathon, which we're still in. But this is the last book I finished in the Booktubeathon. I'm glad I finished the series this month. So that's one goal for this month that was done, though I was hoping to read 2 series, which I did not do. but I did catch up on a series, so that's good. I then read Layer of Dreams by the fantastic Claire Babet. Once again, really good show of diversity and the kind of hypocriticalness of white. Like, the historical accuracy in this book is really good. It does kind of like pay up the funner elements of the 20s, but it totally deals with the realistic aspect of the 20s, like sexism and expectations. Like, a character hides the fact they're Jewish in this series, so there's all that stuff. So it's realistic, fun, and the plot, like, kind of filler aspect of this book's really, like, seriously, is really good. Now I know everyone loved this, and it wasn't just because they loved the US covers of Diviner, which is really nice, and I'm kind of bummed that I never bought that, but oh well, it's not like the sequel matches, which is the problem with books when they get released so long after the other ones. They kind of don't match. It's kind of a guarantee that they probably won't match. I read Everything by Nicole Yoon. I think that's how you say her name, but probably not, because that's probably more a Scottish interpretation of how to say that than it's actually said, because I believe it's a Japanese last name, so sorry. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. It's a nice light read, but the plot is actually exact same to this movie that exists, except the tone of it's a lot more serious than the movie. This girl has, what's it called, like a moon deficiency, so basically she's allergic to everything, so she spent her whole life at her house and she's only came into contact with a few people, like her mother and her nurse. And then this boy moves in next door and they become friends by internet and window messages. This is like a romance book, so the plot didn't really give me anything, and I'm not a big head over heels romance person. So I think some people will like this book a lot more than I did. I don't know, something put me off by the fact that the male love interest couldn't write backwards. He expected the girl to read backwards, like he expected Maddie to read him writing backwards on the windows, but he could never write backwards for her. And I just, like, if you can't write backwards for someone, do you really love them? And you're probably thinking, yes, that's a dumb point, Rachel. Something worth pointing out about this book is that the main character is not white and she is mixed race. She's half black and mixed on the other side, I think. Because, like, she's Japanese and then mixed with something else. I'm sorry, I think it's white, but I can't be sure, but she's mixed race anyway. And we're all about why it should be as diverse as possible. I then read One by Sarah Corzin. This book is about conjoined twins, and the book starts with them having to go to school instead of being homeschooled like they have for their whole lives. The book's really good and it throws up a lot of interesting questions about relationships, like romantic and family relationships. It is kind of sad because of stuff that goes down in it, and I feel like it's hinted at a lot during this book, so you'll probably get the hint of something's gonna go down, and it's kind of sad. I don't know how I feel about the ending, but I don't know how this book would have ended for me, where it's like, yay, this is a great ending, I love this ending, because it's a very realistic book, and life doesn't always have satisfying endings, so that's just part of this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and there's a review on my blog, and there's a review of Everything. And there's a review of Layer of Dreams. There's like reviews of most of these books right now. There's reviews of most of these books because most of them are Net Guy books. So I know I do a very bad job of telling you which books are review books and which ain't. But this book is a review book and I got it from BookBridge. And this is Hello, Goodbye and Everything in Between by Jennifer E. Smith. And it's great. I heard about this book at the Edinburgh Book Festival, and once I heard about it, like, yes! Read that! Is about this couple going to university, and they're just, well, college, and this as the Americans call it, and they're kind of deciding what they should do. Should they bake up or should they stay together? Because they think they should bake up because they want to bake up on good terms, and they don't just want things to become weird while they're at different coasts of America, basically. Like, one's going to the west and one's going to the east coast. It's basically just a book where they go on a tour of like their hometown and all the places that meant something to me. Like I said, it was like a book about going to university and what that means and kind of that stage of your life, and I really liked it, and there's a review of this. So that was the last book I finished reading this month. Books that I started but didn't finish this month were Ali's an Assassin, A Conspiracy of Princes, and I read half of this book for the booktubeathon, and I don't know, me and this series don't get on, because like the last book, I started reading it in August for the Edinburgh Book Festival, so around the same time as right now, and it took me till like Christmas to finish reading it, and I forced myself to finish reading it so I could have all my British books that I started reading last year completed and reviewed. So I suck. I honestly don't think I will pick up the next book in the series, even with it if it was a library book like this one is. It's just the possibility of this book sounded so cool, and like the way this book's gonna end, I can just tell this book's gonna end in a way that's not interesting, and that's why I really can't be asked to read it, because it's a lot of politics, and I know fantasy can have a lot of politics, but this book's just, it's not entertaining, and I'm kind of bored of it, and I will finish this book eventually before I take it back to the library, which will be next month, this month, some point. I also listened to more of Her Dark Curiosity by Megan Shepherd, and I bought the UK physical copy finally, because like I was waiting for this to go down in price, and like I gave up on waiting for it. I wanted it. I can't decide if I like the US cover or the British covers more, because I thought the US ones were really nice, but I think I like the UK ones better. Like the edit really feel more to me, except for the first one, which doesn't match the last two, but whoop-de-doo. Wow, this is actually a floppy book, kind of. That's weird for a UK edition. I also started listening to Weathered by Lauren Defano. That's not how you say her name. And I looked up how to say her name and I forgot. I listened to half of this in the audiobook form, and I read the first 6 chapters, and then I listened to the rest till I got to the half point in that. I'm liking it so far. Since I started reading it, I knew there was bad things said a lot about the series, but I've actually found out more what those bad things are that people say about the follow-up books. But I like the first book so far, and I pretty know how it's gonna end, but sometimes you just know how books will end. It's part of reading when you read so much and watch so much media. So that's all the books I read this last month. I will see you next time, where I will be juggling lipsticks. Maybe. Farewell. We'll be discussing how the booktubeathon went this month. It